My name is Nick Mitic. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I bought the gold poster for the Jaguar F-Type. Yeah, I first found you guys looking for MR2 parts. I was building a Project MR2 at the time, and I was looking for some auto parts, and I came across your website. Got really excited that you had the part I was looking for, and you also were doing car giveaways at the time, which is something I love to enter and typically actively in car giveaways. So that's how I got into entering with y'all since, I want to say 2019, sometime around there. I do. I enter a couple different giveaways, so I'm typically in a few giveaways. I like to support the smaller ones that are up and coming. Of course, there's larger ones that have been out there for a while. They're doing supercars and Lambos and Ferraris, but love supporting smaller businesses and also getting higher chances to win these cars. Yeah, this was a car that is special to me. It was actually the more expensive option at the time that I was looking for, a two-door car. I ended up going forward with a 350Z. I think any and every car guy has had a 350Z at some point or seen one of these. But the Jaguar was the more premium option. So the platform of, the body styling of the car just looks so fast and sleek. The engine itself, V6 supercharged. They make a V8 supercharged if you get the R. It is insane. It is, 500 horsepower. It is an amazingly fast, sleek car that just feels like, another version, a smaller baby version of an Aston Martin. Probably going to get butchered for saying that, but not comparable, but, little mini version of it. Yeah, the Aston, I think that's the only car in the whole fleet of history of cars you guys have given out that actually hurt me that I didn't win. I think I did $200 entry for that car, if not more. But man, that is DB9 iconic Aston Martin Vantage, so sleek. It's actually the same designer that did the Jaguar and the Aston and some of the Land Rover Range Rovers. So I forget his name, but yeah, he made some beautiful looking cars. I've always loved anything with a gear. So anything that has a gear motor always fascinated me, how it works, and then the design behind it, experience, the power, torque, adrenaline. So I've always been into cars, and it's something I've always been passionate about. Typically it's Euro. So I'm typically running and supporting a Europe platform. BMW, Mercedes, those are typically the ones that I've had in the past. Yeah, not a lot of JDM. I always wanted a JDM car. I've had a Honda or two here and there. Super reliable, really easy to work on, fun. But yeah, it's typically the Euro. Yeah, I try to as much as I can, as much time that I have. So right now I'm working on a SL500, a 1996 SL500. It's a V8 convertible Mercedes, and yeah, that's my current project right now. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I looked at it a couple of times and I was in disbelief. We've seen scammers out there for these platforms and giveaways. We've all received those texts, fake accounts that are made. They've reached out to me before, and I'm like, you're not PrimeDriven. You don't have X amount of followers. You only have a few. So I thought it was another scam, and I was shocked when I saw it was the thread of confirmations that we have communicated with every time that I've entered. And I'm like, wait a minute, let me take a look at this. They all shared my information, and I just took a moment and I was in total shock. I got goosebumps. I'm like, there's no way I want this car. And then my heart was racing, super excited, had to take a moment. Then we talked on the phone. I'm like, okay, this is legit. This is awesome. Yeah, it was that definitely a surprise. I think, I initially went into this just to support you all with, what you're doing. Love the cars, love the merch. I was buying a bunch of merch. I got so much. I'm like, I'm just going to stick to the digital entries now because my house is, PrimeDriven daily over here. So I'm just doing digital entries. So, yeah, I've just been, buying merch, supporting you all with hopes to win a car. And when I finally won, I, still couldn't believe it because initially went into this thinking, I'm just supporting y'all, getting some merch. Didn't expect to win. And then after entering for so long, I assumed that eventually it'll happen. But yeah, still in disbelief that we're here right now. Yeah, I was actually, with all honesty, I was actually about to throw in the towel. I'm like, man, I was gonna ask y'all, like, how many times have I entered? Because I'm curious. I'm like, I know it's been a while. Maybe 2018, 19. I didn't know at the time, like when I started entering with you guys, and I'm like, I need to cut my expenses a bit because I'm not doing $25 entries. I'm typically doing 50, 100 for the cars that I enter. So it adds up. And yeah, I'm glad I didn't. And every time I do want to, say, okay, no more, I'm not doing other giveaways. I'm only maybe doing PrimeDriven. You guys put out a card that just pulls me. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like I'm hooked. I'm hooked on PrimeDriven. I think first locally, I'm going to drive the car here around Red Rock, maybe National Park. May make a drive down to Pacific Coast Highway in California. So definitely got to hit the canyons and some turns and curves with this car. Yeah, I think I said this in my post on the winner announcement that y'all made for me. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep entering. I've entered over 100 times with PrimeDriven. If you give up, you may be missing out on the car of your dreams or the car that you really wanted to win. So if you don't try, you won't win. And persistence is key. So just keep doing what you're doing, and then you're going to get a car one day in your driveway.